Jay-Z was at the Grammys accepting the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. I think that's what it's called. And he basically ripped the Grammys for not ever giving Beyonce album of the year. Um, First of all, I wish that Dr. Dre had given Jay that award. It would have been very cool instead of Trevor Noah, but that's a whole different discussion. So yeah, so Jay's standing up there with Blue Ivy, his daughter, who's very tall for her age. I think Blue's only like 12, so she's gonna be a very tall young lady. And he basically said, how can Beyonce have the record for most Grammy wins and never win Album of the Year? Good question. And he didn't say Taylor Swift by name, but it does bring the question, like, why do the Grammys seem to award some people and not other people? Um, the Taylor Swift thing is actually very interesting because I saw this coming last year. Um, when she broke the record that she tied with Paul Simon and Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder. Paul Simon's a great songwriter, great talent. Simon and Garfunkel, wonderful solo artists. Um, but now I want to talk about really Frank and Stevie. Frank and Stevie, those two are cultural shifters and cultural movers. Dudes wanted to be like Frank Sinatra. They wanted to dress like Frank Sinatra. They wanted to sing like Frank Sinatra. They wanted to be cool like Frank Sinatra. They wanted to hold singing notes like Frank Sinatra. Like for a lot of people who don't know about young Frank Sinatra and all that stuff, do your research. Like that guy was just he set the table for so many different things vocally, man. Like he was just iconic. But Taylor Swift broke the record that he held with Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, I will take any four Stevie Wonder albums from 1969 to 1982. They don't have to be his albums of the year. You can give me just about any four Stevie Wonder albums. Maybe except for Talking Plants. But I'll take that too. Put them up in a bag, blindly take four of them, and I'll pit those four albums against anything that Taylor Swift's ever done. I'll give you 1989. 1989 was like her biggest, most crossover type album. But in no universe has Taylor Swift made four better albums than Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder can still take Songs of the Key of Life, which was made over like 45 years ago, I think, and play it today from song to song and still rock the crowd. I don't know if Taylor Swift can do that with any of her songs 40 some odd years from now. Again, I get it, different times, different eras. I totally understand it. Totally understand it. But I think Taylor is a great artist in her own right, but I think she's overhyped. Now her Swifties will probably get mad. It's like, oh, who are you? Blah blah blah. It's like, hey man, it's just my opinion. Like I came through an era where people love Michael Jackson or love Prince. I came through an era where Michael and Prince and a lot of different artists made great albums and made albums that kind of like, it's okay. The problem with this era today is everything doesn't matter what's Taylor or Beyonce or whomever. Wherever somebody puts on an album, every song is great. It's impossible. Everybody doesn't make great music all the time. And it's okay to say it's okay to be a fan of somebody saying, the album's okay. It's not that great. It's cool. But this era, man, I don't know, man. Like their musical ears are just kind of just dented. But let's get back to what the Grammys used to do. So before Taylor Swift, they had a thing where if you're a popular female pop singer, they didn't give you anything. If you came from outer space and I played you four peak Madonna albums, and four albums to Taylor Swift, one for albums of the year, and I said, which one of these ladies won four albums of the year? They'll choose Madonna. They should choose Madonna. Madonna is iconic. Madonna, I think people forget like the streak that she was on, like from what 82, 83, from Burning Up all the way up until maybe Music. I mean, she was just pumping out albums like crazy, and really good albums. Was all of them great? No, but were most of them really, really good? Yeah, but the Grammys would never give her album of the year. Let's give Janet Jackson. You can give me Taylor Swift's four albums of the year, and I will give you Control, Rhythm Nation, the Velvet Rope, and Janet. I will take those albums every day over those four albums that Taylor Swift has won her Grammys for. You might get a push on 1989. Outside of that, can't touch Janet. Let's take Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey could have won for her debut album. She could have won for Fantasy. She could have won for Honey. Like she could have. Mariah Carey could have won at least one album of the year. Could have won 2 or 3 in her own right. The worst was The Emancipation of Mimi, where everybody felt like, okay, this album was great. It's her comeback. Like, of course this album should win. They didn't give it to her. That's why she was kind of giving some shade to the Grammys when she accepted her like honorary Grammy or something like that. As she should. They skipped over her so many times. And she's a songwriter like Taylor Swift. She's a better singer than Taylor Swift. Like, what's the deal? What is it about Taylor Swift where the Grammys felt like that she's this great overall talent that we have to award her for albums of the year? Like, and again, it's not anti-Taylor, it's anti-Grammy voters. Because I don't quite get it. Like, Taylor has more, like Michael Jackson has one album of the year. He won for Thriller. Not for Off, he didn't win. And Michael Jackson could have won for Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, and Dangerous. He only has one. Prince never won at all. Prince, the closest he came was Purple Rain, and he lost to Lionel Richie that year for Can't Slow Down. Love Lionel Richie. Love that album. But you can't tell me it's better than Purple Rain. Prince could have had 4 albums of the year for 1999, Purple Rain, Sign of Times, Diamonds and Pearls. If you want to toss in Around the World in a Day, you can do that too if you want. Never won. Sign of Times should have won. If he couldn't win for Purple Rain, should have won for Sign of Times. Springsteen was like, what about a white guy? Springsteen. Bruce could have won for Born to Run. He could have won for Nebraska. And he definitely should have won for Born in the USA. Taylor Swift has more albums of the year than Bruce Springsteen. And they love Bruce. It's Bruce. Even Bruce Springsteen doesn't have 80 albums of the year. So you tell me that Taylor Swift is just such a great talent that she has more albums of the year combined than Prince, Michael Jackson, and Bruce Springsteen. Come on, bruh. And it's not just her, it's Billie Eilish too. Like when I see Billie Eilish, I see Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande, and again, it's nothing against Billie Eilish. I like some of her songs, they're fine. Her and Phineas are a great team, they're brother and sister. But man, I look at Ariana Grande, she has that great voice, like Mariah Carey and Christina Aguilera, who Christina should have won for Strip. Christina Aguilera never won the album of the year. That Strip album was tremendous. But when I see Ariana Grande cannot even sniff an album of the year or songs of the year. Like, the Grammy voters, for some reason, dislike Ariana Grande. Why, I don't know. But they love Billie Eilish. I really do think that there should be an open vote. Like, we should see how people vote. Because some things don't make sense to me. And again, this is not anti-Taylor Swift. I don't hate Taylor Swift. I have no feelings whatsoever. It's just, the voting is tricky, man. Like, I can see why Drake and The Weeknd have dropped out. Like, Drake, he dropped out for a while. And The Weeknd was like, after the Grammy snubbed him for After Hours. And that After Hours album was tremendous. That After Hours album should have won everything. They didn't even nominate him for anything. It's crazy. And even that year, I think Billie Eilish won Best Album. But the other album that was out that year was Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia. I'd take that album any day. They love Billie Eilish. Which brings me to Rihanna. I love Rihanna. I love Beyonce too. I love Beyonce since Destiny's Child. I'm a fan of Beyonce. But if you tell me if I was on a deserted island and whose discography could I listen to on the island, it's Rihanna. Rihanna is a tremendous artist. Outside maybe Bruno Mars, maybe The Weeknd. But Bruno Mars and The Weeknd, Rihanna is just probably the biggest artist of the last decade to me. She just knows how to choose songs. She knows how to choose videos. Like, I think her artistry has always been underrated. And the fact that Rihanna's never won Album of the Year, and Rihanna could have very easily at least have one. Like, the last album was Anti, and that Anti album, which introduced us to SZA, was tremendous. But all those albums that she made were tremendous. Like the album had My Only Girl in the World. Like, she's so good, but the Grammy voters did not think she was good enough to win Album of the Year. But they think Taylor Swift is so much greater than everyone that I mentioned that she deserved 4. What do you think? Am I wrong to questioning the Grammys? Was Jay-Z wrong for questioning the Grammys? Or should we find out what exactly is going on with these voters? because it seems like there's some funny business going on.